Hello! Hello! Glitchy though? Oh no. Oh man. Hold on. Oh, damn. Hey guys, my collab, friend currently has a power outage, so he's running on data. No! Riot! Riot! No, don't worry, it's not your fault, man. Let me check. Stream health. Is sound good? Is everything alright, guys? I don't think we can have Riot on stream anymore. Do you still want to be on stream, Riot? Or do you just want to hang out in chat? Alright, save your data. Disconnect from the Discord voice chat. Oh, on stream as well? Okay. Do you want it to be an open VC? Try to invite anyone that you think would like to join. Alright, let's move to chatting. Whoa. Hi guys. Yeah. Maybe Bon. I don't know. Damn. Alright. Got so many things open. I'm trying to reduce stuff. Did I post it? I posted it. I'll close Twitter. Twitch is a-okay. Everyone in YouTube is doing good, I think? Question mark. Alright. Move to game. There we go. Oh, where's group? Okay, there. Hi guys. There. Today we're playing Our Life Beginnings and Always. We will be this is a visual novel game. Why do I have the scroll wheel scrolling text running? Okay, there. Never, don't mind that. I was like, that was from the Armis debut. Amogus. Power will be out till 5, ayo. Hope you can survive that long, Riot. Alright. Let's see. Do you guys hear the game music? Tell me if it you can hear it. Yeah, okay. Alright. Everything running okay? Yeah. 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 I can... I have 32 megabytes of data. I should be good. We're going to be streaming for 2 hours. Can you do this? Can you handle it right? Alright. Yeah, okay, if you say so. I don't really use data myself, so I don't know how much watching a video on YouTube live will do. Alright, for to catch everyone up, this is a game about uh growing up with a love interest. Well, not really a love interest, but a male lead that you have like really vast customization settings. You can choose to just be friends with the male lead, or you can choose to also romance him. And then there are like 3 chapters to this game: childhood, preteen, and then young adult. What's the game called? It's in the title. What's it? Our Life Beginnings and Always. It's in the stream title, purple. And then yeah, you meet the male lead during childhood, and then you develop the relationship up until young adulthood. And then you can select if you would be romantically interested in them or just be platonically friends and stuff like that. But right now we're not going to be playing the base game. We'll be playing the Derek DLC. So this is a different love interest from the one that you saw in the menu. We'll be romancing Derek this time. Riot, which one do you wanna go? Which moment do you wanna play first? Gotta make popcorn real quick. Hey yo! Enjoy the popcorn. Riot, are you there? Can you respond to me? Communicating via YouTube chat. Ow. Hello, A4. Did the bonk go through? Man. Riot. Hold on, because we're playing on Riot's save file right now. We're playing as Victor Orange Slice. Hello, A4. Thank you for the head pats. We're waiting for Riot to respond, but I don't know where he is. Riot! Don't mind the dog. It's midday. Why? Cute Mori and cute Wanchan. It's my neighbor's Wanchan. He's so loud. I'll just pick the first one then. Riot! You need to be here. This is your game. This is your save file. Riot! Are you there? Riot! Let's just start. Yeah, sure. Let's just start. The pool of Derek's condo complex was a perfect setting for a late morning outing. It was early enough that the day hadn't yet reached its hottest. The air still held the crispness of morning. Despite its pleasantness, only you and Derek were there. Pool? Of course, given the location of the ocean, maybe everyone else who felt like waterside fun was at the beach. You usually were. The warm roughness of tiles felt odd on your bare feet as you walked further into the pool. There was no sand to squish between your toes or sharp shells to avoid. You surveyed the area while Derek finished putting his stuff away on a chair. The chlorine was sharp in your senses, and the entire space was so orderly. Lounge chairs sat in neat rows, umbrellas spaced out uniformly. The depth of the pool was marked out in clear text along the sides. Every single element was intentionally and expertly crafted to be convenient for its human visitors. It was extremely different from the wild mistress of the sea. Oh. The sea is a wild mistress. Okay. Alright. I see you. Oh, we're gonna pick a roleplay option now. What do you guys want? Chat, help me out. Do we like the placid pools? Do we like the sandy beach? Do we like the pool and the beach the same? Or are we not a fan of either? Hard to say. Let's just say we like the both. The pool and the beach. Both had their good points. You were up for today's adventure to be something different from your typical day-to-day options. This had been Derek's plan. He let you know about it ahead of time so you could be dressed for the occasion. Oh, what kind of swimsuit we wearing, boys? Let's go with the wetsuit. And both is good. Yeah, swimming pool and the beach. They're both fun. A t-shirt. Your swimming gear was familiar even if the pool wasn't. You felt prepared. Hey yo, the man of the hour. Derek bounded up to you in his own swim trunks, flagrantly ignoring the no running sign in his enthusiasm. There's no one here to stop us from not running by the pool. Let's go. Watch, I'm gonna do a cannonball. As soon as he knew he had your attention, he took off to the deep end of the pool. He built up speed and then leapt into the water. His curled up body created a huge splash on impact. Whoa. Actually, I've never seen anyone do a cannonball into a pool yet. Because, everyone's too afraid of splashing people. And also, typically here, people, do cookouts near the pool whenever we visit the pool. They usually are cooking food by the water. So it's not gonna be nice to have soggy barbecue. But here it's an open space, and of course we applaud. You had to appreciate his talent and showmanship. Had he practiced on how to achieve the maximum splash? Such a show deserved a clap. He stayed under for a while longer. He touched the pool's bottom before he kicked himself back upward. When Derek had popped out of the water, he swam to the edge of the pool and propped himself up with a grin. He watched you expectantly. Oh, do we cannonball on the pool too? I don't know if Victor Orange Slice knows how to swim. Do we know how to swim? Mori doesn't. Let's do. Sure, Victor Orange Slice can swim, and we jump into the pool. Like Derek, you gave yourself a bit of a running start. You reached the end, took a deep breath, and leapt as far as you could. Frigid water burst around you, feet first, but soon covering you entirely. You sucked lower into the depths and began to kick. You reached the surface and sucked in fresh air. You noticed two things. One, the water wasn't actually freezing when you got used to it. And two, that Derek was clapping for you. Hey, yo!
Nice!
You got some serious airtime. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Oh, sheesh. You're too kind, man. As you enjoyed the moment, your thoughts fell back to how you'd gotten here. Last night, Derek had called with a different sort of request. You remembered that his voice had been a mix of nerves and hope. He had a favor to ask, very unexpected for him. Oh? Derek's mom needed him to watch his little brothers in the afternoon. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary, but that was part of his problem. Lately, he had feared that his sports skills weren't as sharp as he wanted them to be. He hadn't been able to practice soccer or football. Soccer or football? Hey yo. Ain't that the same thing? If you're British, it's soccer. If you're American, it's football. But, oh, wait, hold on. Oh. Wait, no. If you're American, it's soccer. If you're British, it's football. Right? Right? I'm gonna hydrate. See, I'm not used to talking so much. This is gonna be another another bout of me trying to get used to talking at a long sentences. Yeah, I get confused. Oh. What am I hearing? Oh. Whoa, Riot? Riot, are you there? I'm hearing something. You guys don't hear it because Discord is muted. But Riot, are you there? Riot? Riot? Oh well. Let's wait for him to come. Alright. I'll unmute Discord once he... Hello? Okay, you're on stream. You're being heard on stream now.
Oh, good.
Hello? Where are you?
I'm in my bed.
Oh. Did the power come back?
We have a generator here, so yeah.
Oh. And you have internet now?
For now.
Alright.
I don't know how long that's gonna last, but probably like 30 minutes.
Oh, man. Anyway,
I'm on
I
timer.
went ahead a little bit since you weren't responding earlier.
Comment.
That's okay.
Ngayon.
Let me catch you up. We're at the pool with Derek. And right now we're being explained that he invited us to the pool, and that Derek was asked to look after his little brothers.
Okay.
Okay, now there's some exposition
Okay.
happening with the narration. I'll be reading it out. Lately, he had feared that his sports skills weren't as sharp as he wanted them to be. He hadn't been able to practice soccer or football without the distraction of keeping an eye on his brothers. His idea to fix this had been to ask for your help watching the kids. So he's asking for you to help babysit his brothers. If you agreed to go to the park with him and his brothers, then you could manage his brothers while he had a chance to focus on practice. That's how he explained it. You said yes, and your moms had been more than happy to let you spend the day playing support for Derek. They said it'd be a good opportunity to take on some more responsibility. To sweeten the deal, Derek suggested that you can come by early, so that you could both hit the pool. Nicholas would be sleeping in and George could spend some one-on-one time with Mrs. Suarez. So far, the plan had worked out. Ma dropped you off about 15 minutes ago and both of Derek's brothers were fully occupied. Mrs. Suarez and... I still don't know how to pronounce that. Jorge or George? They were back in the condo putting together an 800-piece puzzle in the kitchen counter while Nicholas snoozed on the couch. You had time to kick back before the moment came to be in charge of small children. George, I think? Okay, we'll just call him George. A sloshing sound pulled you back to the present. Derek had climbed out of the pool. I'm gonna jump again. Wanna join? Do we jump with him? Do we do a double cannonball? Jump. Okay, yeah, let's go. You copied Derek's exit from the pool. It took arm strength and caution not to scrape yourself on the texture of the concrete. Once on solid ground, you reversed away from the edge to give yourself enough space for a good jump. Do a flip. No. Poised to go, you and Derek made eye contact. He leaned forward, balancing on the balls of his feet.
No worries.
I've already done one. It's your turn. Oh. Wait. What do we do? Do we backflip? Do we do a flip? We actually do a flip? Cartwheel into the pool. You walked off the edge into the water. You offered your hand to Derek so you could jump at the same time. Do we do a flip or do we jump at the same time? Do a flip? Do the hand thing? Okay, man. Alright. It'd be funny to do a belly flop. Okay, you offered your hand to Derek so you could jump at the same time. Oh. Derek accepted your hand eagerly and you ran towards the pool together.
Whoa.
Hi, Glue! Hi, welcome in. We're playing Our Life Beginnings and Always. This is the Derek DLC. Whoa! You leapt and flailed your legs for a split second. Derek lifted your arms into the air and kicked a foot out before you landed in the water. You stretched out and reached up towards the surface, parting your arms to paddle over to dry land. Derek was laughing boisterously. I'm back from the Miku stream. Ayo! It was his turn next. By the curve of his grin and the left of his chin, he looked to be in a mood to impress. His eyebrows drew together in a deep furrow and considered his launch. Derek took a few bounding steps to the edge, jumped up, and tucked his body in. Unlike his previous cannonball, the energy went into a spin, and he flipped making a full rotation before he crashed through the surface. Whoa. The water droplets from the splash dazzled you as they exploded out from his impact. He swam under the water and only came back to the surface after he reached the wall of the pool. He shaked his hands up to the... He snaked... Okay, I can't read. He snaked his hands up to the top of the tiles and pushed himself up so that his hips were even with the edge. He twisted and practically rolled out of the pool from there. Man, you're up. Again? Again? Okay, let's... time to backflip, I guess. Sure. Man, Victor, we're just one-upping each other then, I guess? Sure. Backflip into the pool. You planted your feet solidly at the edge of the pool, not facing the water. You bent your legs and prepared. You swung your arms back until, like a pendulum, you swung them forward. The moment your hand passed your knees, you jumped backwards. You tucked your body in tight as you turned all the way around before you hit the water. Whoa, that was awesome! You kept switching back and forth, trading off silly jumps and then more impressive tricks. From watching Derek's well-practiced dives to performing your own jumps, there was never a boring second. See, you can't really do that in the ocean. You can't really do a cannonball in the ocean because you'd just be running up from the beach to the water. So, pools have their perks. After several leaps, Derek called a break time, and you took a breather at the back stairs of the pool. You waited for your strained heart rate to even out from all the exertion. After a pause of silence, Derek spoke up. He pulled his fist to his cheek and thought, squishing his face slightly.
So...
Hey, I probably should have asked before, but have you ever babysat someone before? Have you, Victor Orange Slice? Well, we are the youngest sibling. We have like an older sister in this game. So I don't think we've ever babysat, ? Does babysitting a dog count? Sometimes I babysit for my mom's friends. The dog? Okay. We babysat a dog. Derek chuckled and slapped his knee. Nicholas is above any puppy, but that's still something. But I'll be right there if anything goes down. You shrugged. At least his brothers probably wouldn't start chewing on random things. Right? Are we excited about babysitting Derek's brothers? Or are we nervous? Curious? You don't know how to feel? Wyatt, what's your answer? This is a roleplay answer. Of course we're nervous. Sure, okay. Your stomach flip-flopped as your expression became strained. After that interlude, you both continued to enjoy yourselves and your freedom until a little beeping alarm went off. That's time! He made his way to the lounge chair with his stuff and dug out a small portable clock. It buzzed until he found the stop button. Oh my god, he has an alarm! He's planned his day down to the minute! Derek chuckled at the time and narrowed his eyes at the glowing red numbers. He shot you a thumbs up.
Let's go.
Time to go up. You helped him gather the towels, grab the rest of the stuff, and then tried to drip as little as possible while rushing through the halls of the complex. When you reached his apartment, he dumped everything in his arms on the ground and scrambled to find his key. Just give me a second, I don't want to knock or anything in case Nicholas is still asleep. He finally spied his soccer ball keychain and snatched up his keys from where they were tangled in his towel. He inserted the key into the lock and both of you shuffled inside the square's hook. 3 heads swiveled to face the two of you, gazes being drawn to the bundles of neon towels coming in. Mrs. Suarez and George were sitting on the bar stools, while Nicholas perched on the counter itself with an excited grin. They were working on a puzzle. On your left, Derek leaned closer and spoke under his breath.
I figured.
He's awake. I love that they voice acted that. Wow! Derek's back! Quick as a blink, Nicholas scrambled on his hands and feet and zipped across the black marble of the counter. Tiny cardboard puzzle pieces scattered. No, not the puzzle! Nicholas! The puzzle! Despite George's frustration, the little whirlwind didn't seem to hear. He was on a mission to reach his bigger brother, not even stopping when he hit the end of the counter. Nicholas stumbled off the edge, and Derek instinctively moved forward with a grasp, dropping all his pool stuff except for the towel wrapped around him. Mrs. Suarez caught Nicholas with her forearms hooking under his chest, snatching him from midair. Ooh! She hugged her son, holding him securely against her butt. A chorus of relieved sighs filled the room. He almost fell off the counter, yo! Nicholas still paid no mind to his trail of disasters and began to squirm. He just wanted down already. Derek took another few steps forward, making his way over to the seat. Mrs. Suarez carefully held Nicholas out, her hands under his armpits, and safely sat him down on his feet. Nicholas immediately wrapped his arms around Derek's legs. Derek chuckled while tugging up at his towel so Nicholas wouldn't pull it up. Hey Nico, you're gonna get wet! Nicholas giggled mischievously and snuggled closer. Derek snuck a quick peek over his shoulder back at you and shrugged. Just as warned, Nicholas now had a damp splotch on his shirt. How do we greet? Hi everybody, you told Nicholas he was worried you? You asked George if his puzzle was alright. Nicholas, I'm here too, you know. He waited beside Derek quietly. Hi everybody.
Welcome.
Hello, welcome Victor. George hummed something that could have been a greeting as he frowned at what remained of the puzzle. It was more than Nicholas who gave no response at all. Well, Mrs. Suarez's tone was warm with a certain amount of humor in it. She rubbed her hands together and stood up. Derek and Victor are in charge now. Make sure to listen to them. George sourly picked the puzzle pieces, but gave a grumbled noise to signify he had heard. I'm going to head up to my appointment. Are you getting a salon appointment? Have fun, Mrs. Suarez. She went to gather some things, officially putting you and Derek in charge. But there wasn't 1 second to settle into your new position. We're going swimming! Nicholas looked up and stared with huge shining eyes. Derek reflexively stiffened. How could he escape the puppy dog? Derek's eyebrows creased, a small sign of nerves compared to the smooth, placating sound of his voice. No, even better. He leaned down and lowered his voice like he was about to share a secret.
I've got a plan.
We're gonna go to the park. Nicholas instantly frowned. He wasn't convinced by Derek's act. He grabbed Derek's hair. You were swimming. Yeah, but I'm not anymore. I'm going to the park. You can come with me. No! The little Suarez whined and stomped his foot. His hands balled up around the neon fabric harshly enough he almost took the towel from Derek. I want to go to the pool! I want to see Victor's swimsuit! What? Derek's jaw dropped. Neither of you were prepared for that one. Did you hear Nicholas right? You looked down at yourself, currently wrapped in a bright fuzzy towel. You switched your gaze to Derek's youngest brother, your brain trying to make sense of what was happening. Why would you want that? Why does Nicholas want anything? George rolled his eyes and continued mumbling into the counter. It was obvious to him, but he couldn't believe the rest of you were taking so long to catch up. Because Derek does. Alright, we set the interest level to crush right? I don't remember anymore, but it was a crush, right? Oh, oh. Well, how are we gonna feel about this, Riot? Stunned. You felt stunned. Derek narrowed his eyes and whispered harshly.
Seriously?
Nicholas, George, you're gonna put me in an early grave. He took a deep breath as he stared at the ceiling. It took him a moment to face you. His voice was firm for someone at his level of embarrassment. I must have said something about hoping you'd remember to bring your swimsuit. I was excited for us to be able to swim, so I didn't want you to have one. So I did want you to have one. Nicholas does not actually want to see you in a swimsuit. He doesn't even know why he'd want that. He's just saying stuff. Man. It's because I heard Derek say it. I don't blame you, Nicholas. You ran the explanation over in your head a couple times. Derek seemed sincere. It definitely made the whole thing less shocking. You snuck another look at Nicholas. He had crossed his arms high on his chest and squished his neck down far enough to rest his chin on his wrist. I want to go swimming. His pout intensified when he said it. He was very angry, little baby. Man. Derek tilted back on his heels, once again driven to look at the ceiling by the strain of this kid. You glanced up there yourself without thinking about it. It was a calm white color with few light fixtures. When you squinted, you noticed something small and green. It appeared to be one of those sticky hands for kids. Was this another present from the youngest Suarez? You tuned back into Derek. He appeared to have made a decision. Alright, I promise you can go swimming too, but only after the park. We'll go to the pool as soon as we come back. With the promise officially made, Nicholas lit up. He snatched one of Derek's hands.
Go!
Let's go! We gotta get to the park so I can swim! We're gonna swim in the lake, bro. Oh my god. Game. Don't crash on me, please. Okay. While Nicholas celebrated, Derek closed his eyes and some of the worried creases on his face smoothed out. Derek, there's lunch packed in the fridge that will be back before dinner.
I gotcha.
Gotcha. Thanks, Mom.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. Mrs. Suarez waved and collected the last of her things. Her purse off of the side table, she ruffled George's hair on her way out. You and Derek were alone with the kids. We should really stop leaving puddles everywhere. He gestured at the drops of water pooling at his feet. Good idea. You and Derek took turns changing. You went first, while you could faintly hear Derek impressing his brothers to listen to you too. He must have convinced them to behave for now, as neither George nor Nicholas acted up when Derek took his turn, drying off and clothing himself. Can you get our lunch from the fridge? I'm gonna pack my gear. No problem. You walked to the kitchen. George hadn't moved from his bar stool even once since he'd gotten back. Meanwhile, Nicholas followed Derek like a possessed shadow that was even more energetic than the original. He zipped around, occasionally trying to place things in Derek's backpack for him. So far, Derek had said no to the rubber duck, but he had agreed to bring an extra pair of socks that Nicholas had determined were absolutely necessary.
Okay.
Got everything. Derek returned with a backpack in one hand, and Nicholas's small hand in the other. We're going, George. Ready, Victor? I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
He pushed away from the counter and finally hopped off his chair with the enthusiasm of a plank of wood. We're going! Derek hid his smile in Nicholas's echo and ushered everyone outside. He locked the condo behind him and began to trip. Huh? Wait. And you began the trip to the nearby park. Okay. Elijah, hello! Just woke up. Hi, Mori. Hi, Elijah. Welcome in. We're playing a visual novel called Our Life, Beginnings and Always. We're currently going to the park and babysitting our friends' brothers right now. The park for the Suarez boys was the big park for your family. Their condo complex was only a short distance from the public outdoor recreational area your mom sometimes drove you to. Why is the character staring into my soul at the bottom? That's right. He's not he's muted in Discord, but that's right. That's He doesn't have enough data to unmute his mic right now. So yeah, that's him in chat. Say hi. Alright, back to the game. It was still a beautiful day outside, and had only gotten a few degrees warmer from your morning swim. The field was bustling with other groups of people enjoying themselves. If I unmute my data gonna poof, yeah. He has to be here for like 2 hours because this is his save file. Me too, to be honest, man. Data, the struggles. Derek led the way to the wide open part of the grass that no one else was using. He stopped in the middle of the field and turned 180 degrees to face the little boys behind him. He shrugged his backpack off of his shoulder and dropped it to the ground. He kneeled down to root around inside it. George and Nicholas waited in place for their brother. Derek gathered a couple things in his arms before pushing off the ground with his knee to get up again. He held a football and a soccer ball in his hands. Alright, Nicholas, George, I've gotta practice, but you can too. Which one do you want?
Okay.
Football. Real ball. Huh? What do you mean, real ball? You raised an eyebrow at their shouts. Derek leaned over to you and whispered with a laugh. He means the soccer ball. It's real because it's actually ball-shaped. Is that a problem? They want both. Derek simply grinned. I thought so. He tossed George the football first. George caught it from out the air with one hand and began to bounce it up and down in his fingers, feeling the weight of it. Derek popped the soccer ball gently over to Nicholas, who watched his brother intently. Nicholas had to catch it with both hands. He wrapped his arms around the ball and hugged it to his chest. This implies they played with fake balls. No, it's because the football is like in long shape, right? The thing. The soccer ball is circle. The football is I don't know what it's shaped like. My English brain cannot get around what shapes they are. Yeah, just remember the soccer ball is the circle. And the football is the one you hold in your hand. With his brothers taken care of, Derek crouched again to reveal a third ball. He'd brought a second soccer ball. Derek had been prepared. Too prepared, yo! The rugby ball. Yeah, man, I keep forgetting there's like another name for for the American football. Alright, I got it. Yeah! Derek overprepared. He has a second soccer ball. He then sprung back to his feet, another problem diverted. George, Nicholas, you can use this half of the field. I'll use that half. Victor can be your ref, but don't get too far from him, alright? Okay. George tossed the football in the air, preoccupied. It spun in an arc down.
Alright!
I'm gonna practice. Nicholas embraced his soccer ball tighter, pressing his cheek into it. You wonder just how he'd practice with it when the equipment was about as big as his head. Yeah, I'm from the UK, so my brain is taking... Oh, I see. Yeah, football. Football round. Football is also called soccer in America. Brain error. Why do they call it differently? That's the problem. The child looked completely content with the world, but Derek's eyes narrowed. Once again, he shared some Nicholas info into your ear. Oh. Watch him. It's not over. He copies what I say, but that's not what he means. No! You snuck a peek at Nicholas. He appeared so innocent, clutching his ball and staring at a patch of clover in the grass. But you'd interacted with him enough to not question his potential for trouble. You'd make sure to keep an eye on the kid. I will.
Thank you.
Thanks, Victor. You're a lifesaver. Derek held his soccer ball in both hands and cheered. Bye, bros. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, bro. Bye, bro. Derek put on a smile as he picked up his bag, tucked his soccer ball under an arm, and jogged to his side of the field. He didn't have time to lose. He needed to practice. Don't trust that tiny guy. Oh, yeah. No, we should never trust that guy. You stood with the younger Suarez boys, effectively turned loose. George stared at you with uncertainty, while Nicholas's mischievous smirk could only make you guess what he was thinking. You weren't going to make Mr. and Mrs. Suarez regret letting you come. And you especially weren't going to disappoint Derek. You were going to watch those boys. Time to be in charge. I'm gonna play over there. He pointed vaguely to the opposite side of the field from Derek and trotted off to entertain himself. You let him go with the argument. George wasn't the problem child. Oh, I gotta drink to that. George wasn't the problem child. I'm the problem child. No, Elijah! When you saw him settle in, throwing around his football and chasing it, you smiled. You would only need to manage Nicholas. You aimed your grin towards him, but instead of being in the clover patch, he was missing. Oh! You snapped your head back and forth until you spotted him in a fumbling dash across the grass, struggling to keep his soccer ball from slipping out of his small arms. When Derek said watch him, he had really meant it. Maybe chasing puppies around had prepared you for this one after all. No! Well, what do? We just run over? Right, what do? Do we shout, Nicholas, stop? Do we run over to him? Pick him up? No! He might just be playing around. We just gotta watch him. Probably. Question mark. I don't know what he's doing. Pick him up? Okay, right. This is your save file. Sure. Even with your longer legs, it was still tricky to catch the kid. He shrieked and laughed when you plucked him off the grass. The soccer ball tumbled from his arms. He reached for it with all his might, stretching his arms and kicking his legs for momentum. You couldn't contain him, so you carefully placed him back on his feet before he could fall. Then you kicked the ball back to him and suggested playing. Oh hey Nicholas, you're hanging out with me just like Derek does. You were totally overwhelmed. No from experience, there we go. What do we do now? Do we suggest playing with him? Or do we compare ourselves to his brother? The one that he looks up to? Let's suggest playing. Let's play, I'm gonna get it. He squealed at the idea. He chased the ball, determined to beat you to it, and wound up to the kick. He overshot the angle of his foot and the ball bounced off awkwardly. Then you were the one after the soccer ball. It didn't go that far. You let Nicholas get it again so he could continue to gradually kick the ball across the field. He sent some strands of grass into the air along with the ball on his second goal. Yeah, playing accidental cap loss. Oh no, talking too much is getting air into my... Oh, I'm getting burps. Darn, I'm gonna get you. Nicholas cackled while bumping the ball along. No, I'm gonna win! When you next got close to the soccer ball, he switched strategy. Nicholas grabbed it with his hand so he could simply run forward. Oh, he took the ball. That's not how soccer works. It's mine. He laughed off his blatant rule breaking and started running around after Nicholas directly. The only times your gaze strayed from the little Suarez was when you blinked or set the occasional glance towards George's way. George continued to enjoy his time at the park without any need for assistance, so he spent most of your energy on the mischief maker. After smoothing out the initial bump of the afternoon, things evened out. At least, things were fine until the trial known as lunch arrived. Oh. It started with the reappearance of Derek. His presence sent Nicholas into hyperdrive. He bounced at the tip of his toes and waved both his hands frantically. Derek's back! He tackled his older brother and latched around Derek's left leg. Not again. George, like half of the entire park, noticed the shout. He jogged over to see if any important updates were happening without him. Derek winked. Hey bros!
What's up?
Hi Victor, hope you're doing alright. As he spoke, he let his bag drop to the ground. He crouched over it and scrounged for the packed lunches. Oh yeah, just great. Sarcasm. It's all good. I don't know how you do this all the time. Are we exhausted? Are we having fun? Do we just nod? The third one? I don't know how you do this all the time. Oh, I'm exhausted. Running after Nicholas had been crazy. That's crazy. How did the kid have that much energy? Derek amazed you for being able to manage his little brother on the regular. Well, I try my best. Derek set aside 3 paper bags on the grass, one in front of Nicholas, the other next to George, and the third one to you. Oh, placemats, ayo. Derek kept the 4th lunch inside his backpack. He only pulled a water bottle from it and closed the bag back up. Huh? Okay, Nicholas, you've gotta eat now with Victor and George. Nicholas clenched Derek's jeans more desperately as he whined. You're not gonna eat with me? Derek scratched the back of his head and gave a longing glance back to where he's been practicing. Oh, you wanna practice more? Bro, eat lunch. Do you mind, Victor? I was hoping I'd have more time to practice. He shrugged apologetically, knowing he was asking a lot. Do we let him, guys? You should really eat lunch too. I'll handle it. Okay, sure, good luck with your practice. You gave him an okay sign. You sighed. Do we sigh? Yeah, let him eat lunch. You should really eat lunch too. It'll be fine, I promise. Nicholas's whimpering never stopped being high-pitched background noise. It's just the white noise that you'd hear. Oh my god, it started ringing in my head now. when I thought about it. Derek ruffled his hair. Hey, check this out. He picked up Nicholas's soccer ball and placed it on the top of his own head. Nicholas's jaw dropped theatrically as Derek fully stood up while keeping it balanced. Wow! Nicholas cheered and jumped up and down, still holding onto Derek's leg. Derek bent his knees and popped up fast enough to launch the ball in the air. He caught it in his head again. Ha! Nicholas let go of his brother to clap. Derek grinned at Nicholas, but his gaze flicked at you for a second. The show over, Derek inclined his head and let the soccer ball drop into his hand. He held it out to Nicholas. Why's the kid's face so creepy? What do you mean? Make sure to eat a good lunch, okay? Then you can get back to practicing. Okay. Nicholas spoke into the soccer ball that he had cuddled to his face. He'd been starstruck enough that he couldn't disagree with anything his biggest brother said. Derek waved at you and George before heading off to where he'd left his soccer ball, carrying only the water bottle with him. George promptly took a seat on the grass by the lunch bags. Nicholas put the soccer ball on his head. It immediately rolled off. He just tried again. You reached over for the lunches. Each bag had a clearly written name in the black marker ink. George collected his bag, you had yours, and you attempted to give the last one to its proper owner. But Nicholas showed zero interest in the bag. You imagined he would have been more interested in Derek's lunch bag, even though they probably had the same meal. George scoffed, knowing his brother was going to be difficult again. He took a sandwich from his bag. From looks alone, you guessed it's sliced deli turkey, a pale-colored cheese, and some veggies. With Nicholas clearly busy, you took his sandwich out for him. The sandwich was ham and some sort of orangey cheese. Cheddar, almost certainly. You offered the food directly to Nicholas, and still he didn't fight. He wanted to play. Nicholas, if you want to play, then you have to eat. If you eat, I'll hold your ball on your head for you. Do you, You sent an SOS glance to George? What do we pick? What time is it for y'all? It's 4 p.m. for me. This is the first story segment, and it's already an hour in. What the heck? This is why I love this game. There's so much written stuff. Do we be a sourpuss and say if you want to play, you have to eat? Oh, it's 9:05 in the morning for me. 5 a.m.? You woke up at 5 a.m.? Elijah. Riot, what's your choice? This is your save file. And this is a big choice. How do you handle children? Oh wait, I'm bad at numbers. 9:05 is 9:05. Oh. I'm so on God, I'm not good at numbers. My gosh, man. It's fine. It's not like it's nuke codes or anything. Make them a deal. Alright? We'll make a deal, Riot. I'll hold the ball on your head for you. Deal? Nicholas chewed on the inside of his cheek while he carefully contemplated your suggestion. Then the focused look melted into a bright smile. Alright. He gave you a determined nod when he was ready to switch. Your fingers fanned out as you reached for the ball and pressed it down into his messy mop of hair. Nicholas cautiously released the ball, and you kept it firmly in place. He giggled ecstatically as he finally found a way to keep the ball up without using his hands. It just took another person to do it. He retrieved his sandwich and immediately stuffed a big bite into his cheeks. Chuckling, you took a glance over at what George was doing. Luckily, he didn't need a hand like his brother. He was already enjoying his packed lunch, so you decided not to squander the opportunity. You retrieved your own sandwich with your free hand and dug in. It was definitely an interesting way to enjoy a meal break. Finishing the last corner of your square-shaped meal, you wondered if Mrs. Suarez had talked to one of your moms beforehand about lunch. The sandwich was made how you would have had it at home. What about the other one, George? He's taking care of himself. We don't need to worry about him. She was either prepared or very lucky, but considering what her oldest son was like, you were guessing luck had nothing to do with it. Along with the sandwiches, there were also bags of carrots, celery, and a few cookies. Oh, I have never gotten raw, fresh carrots and celery as lunch packs ever. Oh, well, this is Asian country, so most of our lunches are rice with a side dish or something heavy. Raw carrots are good. Yeah, I know. I like to munch on raw carrots too. It's just that it's not really a staple food lunch snack here. So it's like a culture shock for me that nowadays people actually eat those as a meal for lunch. They're good, man. Yeah, I like raw carrots. The heck you mean it's not staple food? Here in the I live in Asian country. Asian country where rice is always the meal. It's an amazing meal. Carrots, only carrot. I'd be hungry after that. Like one sandwich and a few sticks of carrots and celery. The closest thing we get here is carrots and peas and corn cooked in butter. Yeah, but not like raw carrots. I don't think. Well, at least my parents never gave me those kind of lunches. We live in the rice paddies, Elijah. Mine did, it was shit. Well, you don't like veggies, right? I know you. You don't like veggies. Between the three of you, it wasn't long before all the snacks were gone. With nothing left to nibble on, Nicholas yawned and curled up in the grass, cuddling the soccer ball against his chest. George stood up, watching his little brother fall asleep. Once he was certain that Nicholas was down for the count, he started cleaning up the trash. You admired the maturity he showed for his age. It wasn't just Derek who had that streak after all. You helped gather the trash while musing about the Suarez brothers. Derek was the oldest and who his parents relied on, while Nicholas was the baby of the family. And for a little kid, he was a force to be reckoned with. George was the one stuck in the middle. I don't like it either, but carrots are amazing. Why is this like me? What? You're like George? Being stuck in the middle? Thank you for helping me with this. Thanks for being such a good kid to babysit. I saw your football throws earlier. They were really good. I like getting the chance to spend time together. You gave him an encouraging smile. Do we compliment him on his football throws or do we thank him for cleaning up the trash? What would a middle child like the most? Compliment his drip? What do you mean drip? There's no option to compliment his outfit here. He got that aura. Yeah, sure, let's go. The football throws were really good. George spun around on his heel. He seemed stunned, like he wasn't sure if you imagined your compliment or not. In a couple of years, you could totally get into a junior football team. You nodded, and a blush grew on his face until it reached his ears. Aww. He's happy. He hurriedly went back to what he was doing before. George was embarrassed, but you also noticed there was a bounce in his step that wasn't there before. Yippee! He's happy. The park suddenly felt empty with Nicholas asleep. He took up a lot of space despite his tiny size. Chuckling to yourself, you found a comfortable spot in the grass and scanned the area for Derek. You eventually caught sight of him running in the distance. Even from here, you could tell that Derek was persistent about his practice. He went back and forth, repeating the same sets of moves, reassessing and refining his form every time. Though it wasn't long before he paused to wipe his brow with his black wristband. Derek happened to glance your way at that moment and realized he had an audience of one. He gave a huge wave with both hands that required he crossed both his arms over his head. Before you knew it, Derek's strides were bringing him back over to you and his brothers.
Phew.
That's it. I'm gonna be done with practice. I'm back. Welcome back. Thanks for watching George and Nicholas. I didn't mean it for it to be so long. I finally got to be a big sibling. I think I feel like an old, tired parent now. Man. babysitting for a day, and then you feel like a jaded parent. Let's go. I'm happy I could help you out. You owe me one. You nodded promptly. What do we say? You owe me one. You owe me one, Derek. Third one. I'm happy I could help you out. Riot. What's your say? I mean, yeah, it wasn't big trouble. Nicholas wasn't really that hard to wrangle, since we essentially just played with him, and then George was could entertain himself. I'm happy I could help you out. I think Riot died. Riot! Riot! Riot, are you there? Revives. We need the defibrillator. We need the defibrillator. Clear. I'm moving around in my chair a little bit. Okay. Alright, well, let's just make a decision. I'm happy I could help you out. The sincerity in your voice had Derek bashfully keeping his eyes on his shoes instead. Rest in peace, Roy. Your heart rate picked up as he chose to respond in kind. Oh. I'll probably end up saying it again, but thanks, Victor. You're a lifesaver. Next, he shifted his attention over to his brothers. George gave a little wave. He'd been waiting patiently for his big brother to wrap up his conversation with you. We're going back. George simply got up, not needing any more guidance, while Derek kneeled in the grass to nudge Nicholas out of dreamland. A single eye cracked open at first, and then they both popped wide open when he realized who was with him. Derek! Derek! Nicholas sprang off the ground, wrapping his arm around his big brother like a vice grip, and nuzzled into his chest. Derek gave Nicholas's head a single pat.
Let's go.
Practice was good today. Let's go home.
Let's go home.
Let's go home. Hold on. Let me see. Is the voice is at max? Why am I not hearing him properly? Maybe it's my mixer. This thing is going off the fritz lately. Yeah. There. Okay. Nicholas's hushed voice echoing his brother's, put a warm smile on your face. Surveying the area, you made sure that nothing would be accidentally left behind. Then you breathed a sigh of relief. You made it through your first time solo babysitting. Although Derek was technically still nearby, the whole time it wasn't completely solo. But you weren't bothered by that. Derek trusted you with his siblings, and they were both still in one piece. Oh. I'm alive, what do you mean? You didn't respond! What happened to you? Is my chat like it's live chat, so Mom made me do dishes, man. That's fine. Let's continue on. I've escaped. Have you finished it? Have you finished your chores? You're gonna get scolded again, right? I'll get back to it. Just finish the dishes. Aren't you? You can like join on phone. I don't know. With your leadership, no one got lost, injured, swallowed something they shouldn't have, or even declared that they hated you for eternity. So in your book, you'd say it went fairly well, man. The 15-minute walk back from the park passed by pleasantly. The late afternoon sun fell behind you and your shadow soon stretched across the sidewalk. You wiggled your fingers and then exaggerated your hand's movement in order to watch the shadow change. Meanwhile, next to you, Derek was finally eating his lunch. Although he had to eat his sandwich with the hand Nicholas wasn't clasping tightly onto. George entertained himself with the football he still carried. He periodically tossed it up into the air and caught it again. You could easily imagine how often the three of them had made this trip before, with only the three of them. But you didn't feel out of place strolling alongside the group. It felt natural. Beaming, you found your gaze settling on Derek again, and you knew without a doubt that the way you felt was because of him. He was so good at making you feel welcome. In time, you made it safely back and Derek dropped his bag on the floor. With a quiet sigh of relief, any hope he had to take things easy for a second immediately evaporated.
We're going to the pool as soon as we come back.
Alright, Nicholas. We're going to the pool as soon as we come back. Man, I feel exhausted just hearing that. I'm back. I had to do some chores. That's fine, Elijah. Don't be like Riot, where he had to postpone chores midway. Finish your chores, everybody. Nicholas's joy was palpable, parroting back Derek's promise from earlier in the day. As the words dawned on him, Derek closed his eyes and breathed deeply. Yup, we are. Get ready. And that was all the approval Nicholas and George needed. They both dashed off to their shared bedroom to get changed. I still have some that I won't do because it's too early. Alright. Just don't stop in the middle of a chore that you're doing. Derek sluggishly opened his eyes, but his tiredness softened when he looked at you. Aww.
It's okay.
Practice is done. If you want to stay up here until your moms can come get you, that's cool. Derek gave a partial shrug and then ran a hand through his hair shyly. We don't have to go swimming again. Do we want to go swimming again? Hey guys, do we want to go swimming with him again? I've been having fun. I'm not mad about being here. What? You promised we'd get to go to the pool again? I'm not gonna let you be outnumbered by George and Nicholas. I don't want to be in here by myself. But I want to hang out with you. You shook your head at the terrible idea of staying behind. Oh wait. Any of these choices are us going to the pool anyway. So it's just a matter of how we respond now. You promised we'd get to the pool again. But I want to hang out with you. The tip of his ears burned red at your declaration, but he didn't turn away from you. He spoke cheerfully instead. Bruh. Is it that? Man. I can never understand romance. Thanks, me too, Victor. It wasn't much longer before the younger kids came running out to join you and Derek. They both wore their neon-colored swimsuits and had towels wrapped around their shoulder. Of course it'd be neon. That'll be because that's going to be the easiest thing you'll try to find. If they ever get lost, just look for the neon, the kid with neon swim trunks.
Awesome.
Nice job, you even remembered your floaty vest, Nicholas. Derek kneeled down to make sure the safety device was properly secured. Nicholas stood tall with his chest out proudly. He didn't fear the scrutinization. The neon jacket. I did the straps for him. Perfect, thanks. George brightened as his younger brother had. Standing back up, Derek shifted his attention to you. Same quick change strategy from earlier? Yeah. You darted off to get changed first. Derek nodded seriously when you returned to take over for him. He re-emerged a couple minutes later and diligently went over to the counter to write something down. Curious, you inched closer. Just gonna leave a note so Dad knows where we are. Then we can go. Oh, sounds good. Everything was squared away, as Derek was always sure to do, and the four of you marched right back out of the apartment for another excursion. I don't know what that means. What do you mean? What do you mean, Elijah? Excursion. Oh, excursion is another word for adventure, or like a trip outside or something. What does excursions mean? Yeah, excursion is a trip outside or something, or basically a trip. Oh yeah. By the time the distinct smell of chlorine tickled your nose, the sun had fallen low in the sky. You circled around some nearby lounge chairs and deemed them capable of keeping your things safe. Inspecting the gleaming water, you noticed that George and Nicholas hadn't moved towards the pool yet. Both of the boys were watching Derek like hawks. You'd picked up enough this afternoon to know it was because George didn't want to do anything without permission, and Nicholas didn't want to do anything Derek wasn't doing.
I'm on it.
Here I go! And Derek himself knew it too. He didn't keep them waiting. Derek offered his brothers an encouraging wave and strode over to the pool. Let's follow him into the water. Wait for me! Derek paused at the pool's edge and glanced over his shoulder. He beamed at you. Alright, on 3. 1, 2, 3! You simultaneously leapt into the pool, making a huge splash. After a few seconds, you made your way to the surface to take a breath. Derek, meanwhile, stayed under. The other Suarez sons followed. George jumped in without any hesitation, and Nicholas sped right at the edge only to come to an abrupt stop. His curls curled around the edge of the pool, and his lips were pressed into a tight frown. Nicholas tipped his head and stared down at the water, clutching his hands together. Is he scared? Oh yeah. He was scared to jump. Nah, he's drowning. No. Derek's a good swimmer. Nicholas would rather the pool come the rest of the way to him, but it wasn't being a good sport. Derek and George popped out of the water with matching wide grins and droplets hanging at the tips of their hairs. Neither were surprised that they were missing their baby brother. Alright! Woohoo! That was awesome. Nicholas's cry for help came out in a tiny, impatient squeak. He began wiggling in place. Derek clutched and chuckled and swam over to a shallower spot. The 6-year-old followed closely, toddling along the edge. When his feet touched the pool's solid bottom, Derek stood up. He kindly held his arms out towards his brother.
This is gonna be great.
Come on, Nico, the water's fine. Trusting him completely, Nicholas let go of his fear. He took a step over to the side and walked into his favorite person's hold. Derek embraced Nicholas as he dropped against his chest. Then Derek slowly lowered him closer to the water before he completely let his little brother go. Nicholas bobbed under with a small splash and broke out again in an instant like a buoy. He was bursting at the seams with excitement. Woo! Nicholas made the most of his new floating freedom by dog paddling around the shallow end. Checking on George, you noticed he was sticking to the center of the pool. He bounced himself from the floor to the surface for air and then pushed back down to do it all over again. He leapt all around in circle. Derek rested an arm across the pool's edge and took a moment to watch his brothers too. You swam over to Derek and settled again against the wall with him. You closed your eyes and sighed. The water's temperature was pleasantly warm against the cooling evening air. Derek kept his main focus on his family, though he spared a moment to tilt his head in your direction. A few beads of water trailed from his hairline down to the side of his jaw. Babysitting isn't that bad, huh? Nope, I was worried over nothing.
Honestly,
My brothers are fun. Some of the time. Why do they get warm pools? They got the fancy pools, man. They get the fancy pools. He chuckled at his own joke and ran a damp hand across his face to try getting at least some of the water off. The final rays of sunlight cast a warm glow on his skin. The pool sparkled as he finally turned his attention directly towards you, rich people. It's an apartment complex with a pool. No wonder, man. You felt toastier all of a sudden. Like someone had pulled the sun back up to the center of the sky. Oh, Victor Orange Slice has a crush. Derek's mouth turned into his usual wonderful smile. I don't know what I'd do without them. You sound like a proud dad. George is good, but Nicholas is trouble with the capital T. I think Nicholas is way cuter than all the other Suarez's. Oh, ayo. What do we say? I think they're great. You sound like a proud dad. I'm inclined to choose that. Wait. How old is he? He looks like he's so. Well, currently this is the childhood arc of the story. So since we're like the story started when we were 8. Victor Orange Slice was 8, and then this is the second chapter of the story. 5 years time skip. That means Derek and Victor are 13 years old in this. Hello, welcome back, Purple. Yes, we're playing a 13-year-old in this. What do you mean? This is a role play. We'll be growing up together. And then, I don't know if there will be like a story arc for the young adult part in this DLC, but you do have like an ending where they're all grown up. What do you mean illegal? They're both 13. What are you getting at? He smirked at your teasing, but it quickly lost its force as his cheeks grew pink. Derek hid his face in his hand. 13-year-olds can't get crushes, ayo. Oh right. Yeah, that's illegal. that's holding hands, thinking about holding hands with the person you like. Oh my god, that's so, man. I swear, if they do, I will yell at my strict dad. Ayo. Hey man, if you, it's fine. Childhood crushes, they're fine. They're innocent. Just don't get into a relationship that early. That's the main thing. You should not be having girlfriends or boyfriends at the age of 13 and like, I don't know, up till maybe 15. Your brains aren't developed enough for that. You're gonna get heartbreak. Until it becomes reality, they are innocent. What does that mean? Someone in like year 4 was dating another dude the same year all the way till year 6. I don't know, man. Teenagers and relationships is fine. Society has normalized them. I don't know what year 6 is. How old is year 6 and year 4? Kids are crazy. What's the average age for like year 6 students? Year 6 is 11. And then year 4? Huh? Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. I realized that. Hold on. Ages 9 to 10. And then a year 4. They're all too young, bro. Huh? Huh? Well, even in my elementary school, I've heard of like one of my classmates like getting a boyfriend or something. I don't know, man. They were like maybe 12, 11. I don't know why are they so they're in a big time rush to get into a relationship. Crushes are fine, but relationships at age 12, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Okay, back to the game. I don't even want to think about being a real parent right now. Being the oldest kid is enough for me. Yeah. Enjoy your childhood, friends. Enjoy your childhood, people. Shaking his head, he kept his brothers in his sight. The affection returned to his expression. I'm proud of them, though. George and Nicholas remained engrossed in their own watery adventures, while you and Derek kept track of them. You were in mid-conversation when the sound of footsteps echoed off the walls surrounding the pool. Alright, let me... Eight or something? Man. You were in mid-conversation when the sound of footsteps off. Derek shot an arm out the water and waved at the newcomer. Dad!
Good evening.
Hello, Mr. Suarez. Dad! Dad? All the Suarez boys eagerly paddled over to the end of the pool, where their father stood. Welcome back, Riot! They moved together in the water with their heads beside each other and their legs kicked out behind them like a pile of sea pups. We were enjoying the pool. You didn't miss much, don't worry.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Thank you, George. Mr. Suarez's voice was sweet as he observed his children's happy faces. Eventually, he spotted you as well. He tucked his fingers into the edge of his vest with vigor. Oh, this is a pool party today. You know, a pool party should have the proper food. Let's order pizza for dinner tonight. Yeah, let's go! Let's go! Pizza party! Yippee! Almost broke a plate. Were you rushing again? Right, we talked about this. Don't rush when you're washing dishes. Please! Yeah! Yeah! Laughing with excitement, Nicholas started smacking the palm of his hands against the water surface, making several bursting splashes. George flicked the droplets from the tips of his fingers at Nicholas in retaliation. Chuckling over the scene, Mr. Suarez brought a hand up and held onto his chin. He scratched at his beard with his thumb. Half cheese, half pepperoni for the first, correct? Yes! Pepperoni! Nicholas threw both his arms in the air as he cheered. Mr. Suarez nodded, pleased his little ones still had predictable taste.
Wonderful.
Okay, and meat and veggie supreme for Irene and I on the second. He settled his gaze on Derek and you for the final decision. Suggestions for the final half? For what the final half should be? Victor, you pick. Wasn't rushing, but it was very slippery. Oh. Be careful, Riot. You floated over closer to Derek as you thought about it. Oh, we get to pick pizza toppings. It doesn't matter to me, you pick. Derek, what do you normally get? Let's ask him first. Usually the barbecue chicken, but you should get whatever you want. I like the other stuff too, so don't worry. In that case... Oh... He has he uses... How do I speak? He usually gets barbecue chicken. Do you want that, Riot? Yes, sir. Barbecue chicken, yes, sir. Me and Derek the same, for real, for real. Riot, what about you? Barbecue chicken? It's like we're ordering an actual pizza and I'm asking chat. If only I could. Oh man, the delivery fees for pizza in my area is like, damn. Give us the pizza, Mori. Man. Alright, okay. Let's pick barbecue chicken then. Since Derek likes it as well. Barbecue chicken is ill, but he's our future... But he's our future husband, so it's fine. Right? I don't know, man. I don't know. Damn. The sacrifices you're willing to make. Let's get barbecue chicken. Derek gave you a big thumbs up for that. So when full, half cheese, half pepperoni, half supreme, and half barbecue chicken. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, children. I'll put the order in. I'll come back to let you know when it's ready. But until then, continue to play. Oh, man. Proceed with your plays. Thanks, Dad. Bye. Thanks, Dad. Bye, Mr. Suarez. He closed the pool gate behind them, leaving you kids to your fun. I said what I said. Lock your doors, right? Derek took charge again. Alright, you heard it. Dad's ordering pizza. So this'll be in like... It'll be here in like 30 minutes. So think fast. What's the last thing you want to do before you have to leave the pool? Nicholas furrowed his brow, thinking as hard as he could. He scrunched his face together in frustration when nothing came to mind. Meanwhile, George put a hand on his chin and tilted his head to the side. He stared off into space and he considered the question. You left it open for the younger kids to decide. While they were distracted, you made the first strike in a splash fight. Splash fight for 30 minutes? Let the younger kids decide. My room didn't come with windows. That's sad. With no mercy. Oh, Elijah will make windows for your room. Oh wait, what? Riot, you wanna splash them? Alright, sure. This is your save file anyway. No mercy more, man. Prepare the sledgehammer. The younger Suarez bros may have been unsure or overwhelmed with how they wanted to spend the remaining pool time. But you weren't. You knew exactly what you wanted to do. Pineapple on pizza. Yippee! The thing with pineapple on pizza, because usually the pizzas here, the pizzas that I've tasted here have like sweet tomato sauce, so not like the savory type of sauce for the pizzas, so it pairs well with pineapples. I'll agree with you on this one. Yeah, pineapples are fun. I like pineapples. That sounds good. Yeah. Our pizza also came with cheap ham. Are you ordering the The cheap pizzas, ayo. Not even the artisan ones from Angels. You subtly angled your position in the water, carefully deciding your plan of attack. The corner of your mouth bent, and you flung a mighty splash towards Derek. He ended up with a face full of water, and he sputtered before shaking it off with laughter. As he regained his composure, Derek brushed a hand down his face again to wipe some droplets away. No, we getting shakies? Oh my god. The cheap ham at Shakey's, ayo. I don't know these brands, but it's alright. Yeah. Shakey's. Isn't Shakey's like international though? Victor, I'm sure you're aware of what this means. Derek's stare narrowed with a fierce, amused look of determination. You matched it and gave an added slow nod. I believe I do.
It's on.
This means war. He swiftly sent a shot of water in your direction. Nicholas cackled at your exchange, and he started to excitedly beat the water's surface, sent droplets crashing in all directions. We don't have Shakey's in the UK. We got Bird's Eye. It's good because they make a lot of stuff. Ayo. You twisted away from their attacks, and the second the water settled, you struck. Pushing your hands forward, you sent another big wave crashing towards the brothers. Derek sent splashes with both hands on each of his side, juggling you and Nicholas. Nicholas pulled water, cupping it into his hands, and he threw it into the air. Oh my god. The droplets carelessly poured down on everyone. Nicholas was dangerous in this fight. He was willing to take a hit to get a hit. Out of the four of you, George enacted the best defense strategy. He took a deep breath and held it while he slid under the water. Only his hands remained on the surface, and they rapidly splashed in all directions. What the heck? Hey yo! George's strategy kept you all on your toes in order to avoid his scatter shot. Whenever he came up for air, Derek made sure to be ready to take the shot. It was a grand battle. The four of you thoroughly enjoyed your time at the pool and flew by so fast you were surprised when you spotted Mr. Suarez cruising down to the water's edge once more. Dinner's here, and even better, Mom's home. Yay! The youngest Suarez threw his wet confetti into the air one more time. Even his dad wasn't safe from it. Mr. Suarez took it in stride and wiped his glasses against his vest. No, use a microfiber cloth, sir. You're gonna damage your glasses. Derek was out of breath, but he beamed. Let's go get some food. Does he have pizza? Yeah, pizza's here. Mr. Suarez led the way to the apartment. The four of you kids marched with an eager spring in your step. Despite being wrapped in towels, you dripped the water the whole way there. The savory smell of hot cheese and garlic crust was there to greet you when you arrived at the door. You could hear the musical words of Mrs. Suarez too.
Welcome.
Welcome home. Hi. Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Feeling a bit awkward and out of place, you gave a tiny wave. Mrs. Suarez didn't miss it, and her voice softened as she spoke to you first. Dang, his place is nice. Yeah. Oh, rich people. Pizza. Imagine if his dad pulls out a water gun. He doesn't have it. Hello, Victor. I hope you had a fun day today. I did. We had lots of fun.
That's great.
Very good. Mrs. Suarez then went over to the kitchen where the food was set on the counter. She popped the boxes open and delightfully glanced over at her husband. This was such a good idea. Thank you. Pizza party. Chat, hear me out, the mother. Yeah, Elijah. You're not the one marrying Derek, so you can take the mother. Oh no, she's married. Chat, no, she's married. Mr. Suarez dipped his head in a tiny bow. He followed that by gesturing a hand towards the food.
Well then.
Come get dinner, youngest to oldest order. Despite the order given, there was no surprise that George was the one who moved first. You figured Nicholas would wait for Derek, even if he didn't have to. George tore off a paper towel from the roll and used it to grab a slice of plain cheese pizza. I ain't gonna have that chicken pizza. I'll have it. I'll have it, Riot. I'll have the barbecue chicken. He hot-footed it back over to the entryway, standing there so he wouldn't bring water any further into the apartment. You can go next, Victor. It'll be easier that way. The food smelled even better up close. Let's get a slice of barbecue chicken, bros. I steal the pizza then, the mother. Alright, Elijah. You hurried back to the entryway with your dinner. Derek went next, tiptoeing over with Nicholas at his heels. He grabbed a slice of pepperoni and passed it to Nicholas, and then Derek grabbed a slice of barbecue chicken for himself. But instead of going to the entryway, he went to an open space on the floor. He curiously watched as Derek laid his towel on the floor and then sat down on it, crossing his legs. Nicholas plopped down to the floor, to the towel next to him, and started on one of his pizza crust corners. Do we stay standing or do we sit on our towel on the floor? Cheap viewers on Do-Re-Mi. Oh my god, banned. Twitch bots. Do we sit on the floor? I like sitting on the floor, actually. I don't want to stand. Let's sit down. Oh, that's a good idea. You followed Derek's example and laid your own towel on the floor. With cheeks stuffed with pizza, Derek gave you the cheeriest closed-mouth smile he could. Finally, Mr. and Mrs. Suarez got their slices of pizza. They stood in the living room in between the spots their sons had taken.
So,
how did you spend your day while we were out? We did a lot of things. In between taking big bites of pizza, the Suarez family started taking turns telling stories about their day. Nicholas recounted the events of the days with the most enthusiasm. Even though they were the same plot points from his brother's stories, and the ones you witnessed firsthand, from his perspective, the events were almost mystically amazing. Storytelling was hungry work, so the slices didn't last long. The food was chipped away piece by piece until everything was stuffed. Everyone was stuffed. Nicholas laid down on the floor, limbs stretched out and still wrapped in his towel. He was completely tuckered from the day. Mr. Suarez plucked him from the floor and held him under one arm. Oh. Bath time. Come on, Junior.
yes, Dad.
Yes, Dad. Oh. Nicholas accepted his fate and his arms hung limply down. George crumpled up his paper towel into a ball and tossed it into the trash. He followed his dad.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gregorio. Mrs. Suarez watched them go with gentle affection in her gaze. She patted her husband's shoulder as he passed by and then strolled over to you and Derek. And thank you for a good day's work. I appreciate you both taking care of Nicholas and George today. Her cheeriness reminded you so much of Derek's. She pointed with her thumb over her shoulder. Dad and I will take them from here. Thanks, Mom. You could see the wave of relief wash over him as clearly as the actual water you had just swam in. I'll keep an ear out for the phone. Pamela said she'd call when they're on their way to get Victor. Okay. After that, Mr. Suarez excused herself to help get George and Nicholas ready for bedtime. When she disappeared down the hall, Derek leaned back on the palms of his hand. He lazily rolled his head to your direction.
Hey.
We could get dressed again, then would you want to hang out in my room until your moms get here? Oh. He's inviting us to his room. Guys, he's inviting us to his room. Mori, I have a random question. What's the question? Yeah, let's do that. You can get changed first. He stretched his legs out on the floor while he stood up. You could feel a slight ache in your muscles from today's activities. It wasn't bad. You'd given your all during your babysitting adventure. Gathering your things up in your arms, you left to get changed. It wasn't long before you and Derek went over to his room for some siblingless free time. Do you like or know what Therians are? Just curious. I am aware of them, but I have never really fully grasped the concept of them. Since, I don't think I ever looked into it fully. But I am aware of them, yes. Derek opened his bedroom door and gestured for you to lead the way. You went in while he followed close behind, shutting the door once more. Yeah, he's got so many... he's got so many soccer balls and footballs. Hey, yo. This guy's a sports nerd. I see a baseball over there. A trophy. Hey, yo. What kind of books you reading, bro? I can't read any of the titles from here. Your eyes widen as you scan the small space. Usually you were outside when you hung out with Derek, so this was the first time that you'd been inside his room. Within reach of his neatly made bed was a bookshelf filled with novels, various scattered soccer balls, and footballs stuck around the books and furniture. Things were arranged and organized with the same care Derek put into most things he did. If there was more time, you were sure there were tons more trinkets and treasures to spot here. Like a game of I Spy. It wasn't big, but Derek made the most of his small space of the world. Your room is cool. There are a lot of footballs and soccer balls in here. Are you sure you have enough soccer balls and footballs? You felt nervous being here? This is amazing. Let's say... Wait, what was your answer? I had to do something. I said, I answered, what was it? I am aware of Therians. I know them, but I don't fully grasp the concept yet. Is my answer. Riot, what do we say? Your room is cool. Do we joke? Do you have enough soccer balls and footballs? Oh, alright, yeah. Your room is cool, I'd say. Your room is cool.
Really?
Really? Bashful, Derek scratched the side of his neck. He cheerfully watched you looking over his things until it clicked. Whoa, we've never hung out in my room before, huh? Nope, this is the first time. I think Riot died again. Oh man. This is kinda weird to think about.
Sorry.
But anyway, sorry I don't have any chairs in here. You can sit on my bed if you want. Thanks, I appreciate that. You laid down across his bed. Man, we're gonna be too comfy. Let's sit at the edge of the mattress. After the busy day you had, it was without a doubt nice to relax on something soft. Derek's expression brightened as you took him up on his offer. Derek crossed over to the foot of the bed and sat there at the end of it, his jaw stretched open in a huge yawn as he quickly covered with his mouth.
Good job, team.
Whew, we're finally done. There was no missing the proud satisfaction burning in his green eyes, but you could also consequently see the places where he was wilting. Sometimes you kinda worried with how he threw himself wholeheartedly into things all the time. Right, let me take a sip of water. My throat's feeling dry. I've been talking non-stop for how many hours now? 2 hours! I think we're gonna stop with this one for today. I can't do more than 2 hours of consistent talking. I wish I could, but I can't. Loki, the books he has on the top left shelf look good. Ooh, I don't even know what they are. It was nice spending the day babysitting. How often do you babysit? I'm glad that's over. I hope I was at least helpful today. Derek, don't ask me to watch those kids again. You teased. Damn. I hope I was at least helpful today.
Definitely.
His whole demeanor lit up as he pressed the palm of his hand into the mattress and leaned slightly in your direction. An embarrassed blush rose on your cheeks. Oh, Victor Orange Slice, you're blushing? Oh, Victor Orange Slice, you're blushing? Seriously, Victor, you were super helpful. Today was the easiest babysitting has ever been, and the most fun. I had no idea. I'm even more glad that I was here.
Same.
Me too. Derek stretched his arms high in the air and yawned again. His eyelids dropped as he turned towards you. Gradually, the carefree warmth faded from his demeanor. His face fell into a quiet frown when his hands had returned to his lap.
You don't have to.
You don't have to do it again, Victor. Whether it's a good time or a bad time, it's just a lot of time and you have your own things to deal with. Oh, he doesn't want to impose, but friendships and being good friends, you're honestly required to impose. Your brows bent at that. Tilting your head, you couldn't help but think about how much of Derek's days went to his brothers. It definitely didn't seem to match how things were with your sister and you. But then, as if summoned by your thoughts about him, the bedroom door creaked open just enough to let a giggling Nicholas slip in. He threw his hands in the air. I'm dressed! With a loud thud, the door swung fully open, and George marched in with an extremely annoyed scowl. He put his hands on his hips.
Oh.
Nicholas, we're playing in the living room, not Derek's room. George reached for his younger brother, but Nicholas scurried up onto the bed. He warily peeked at George from behind Derek's shoulder. Derek notably didn't say a single word, nor did he appear surprised about the intrusion at all. The only movement he made was a light pat on the mess of hair on Nicholas's head like usual. What wasn't usual was the distant look on his face. He'd accepted the reality at hand but did not welcome it. Derek wanted to spend more time alone with Victor. Ayo. Mr. and Mrs. Suarez crowded into the room next.
Excuse us.
Sorry, Derek, he slipped away in a flash. Yeah.
No more.
Come on, Nicholas, let Derek and Victor have some peace. The youngest Suarez stubbornly clung onto Derek's arm, his cheeks puffed out angrily. Nicholas, go hang out with Mom and Dad. Don't you want to see them too? They miss you today. Don't you want to come see Mom and Dad too? Come on, Derek. Nicholas loosened his grip as he shifted to get a better look at his big brother. Derek sighed spiritlessly. I do, but I have a friend over right now. I'll spend time with Mom and Dad and you later. Nicholas bent forward and grasped Derek's pant leg. He brought out the big guns and stared up at him with his most pitiful eyes and a matching pout. You know, Derek does what he's supposed to. You can be like that. You know, Derek does what he's supposed to. You can be like that now, Nicholas. Don't be sad, it's been a happy day. Well, I'm not surprised this happened. You sank down, feeling awkward. You rubbed your eyes. How do we react? Mori, can I do a fan art of you? Of course, you can. I don't know where to point you to post it, but usually I see people like post it on the community, on their community tab, and then mention me. You can do that. But yeah, I'd love to see some fan art. Thank you, Elijah. How do we react? Don't be sad, it's been a happy day. I'll post it on my community and tell you. Okay. You rubbed your eyes in frustration. I'll do it after stream. Okay. It's been a happy day. Nicholas immediately whipped his head in your direction. He clearly had forgotten you were even still here. Right? Feeling more awkward by the second, you paused while the youngest Suarez did nothing but stare. Eventually, you shrugged. I had fun. I thought we all did. And we're still here together, so there's no need to be sad when we're nearby in other rooms. Tears started welling up, and he turned back to his big brother. Nicholas's jaw clenched as he tightened his grip on his brother's leg.
End of discussion.
Nicholas, we're reading a story, right now. Nicholas angrily shook his head as she advanced across the room. She unapologetically peeled her smallest child off of Derek. The young boy let out a high-pitched whine for the entire extraction. Man. George frowned sympathetically over the confrontation while Derek winced at the noise. Well, that's with the younger siblings. Sometimes they attach to you. And there's no helping it. When the deed was done, the middle son followed his mom out of the room. You could still hear Nicholas's piercing cry as he was carried away. I'm very sorry about the interruption. Continue as you were. None of us were ever here. He gave the both of you an encouraging smile before carefully shutting the door again. It was finally silent. Derek kept an eye out until he honestly believed there wouldn't immediately be another sibling disaster. When he deemed it safe, he let out a quick sigh and attempted to choke back a harsher groan. Aw, he can get tired too. Derek flopped back against the mattress with another huff and stretched his arms out to the sides. His arms twitched and his fingers curled into fists. There's never any privacy here. How am I still having to deal with things even after spending almost the whole day with them? You held your tongue, waiting patiently for him to get it all out. Derek muttered grievances under his breath with a harsh glare aimed at the ceiling for a good minute and screwed his mouth shut. Hi, Riot. Back again. What happened? I think you've done a really good job with everything. It's definitely rough. I thought Elizabeth could be difficult to deal with. Oh my god. At least your brothers don't think they're the boss like Elizabeth. Man. Mom made me get. Hey yo! You got mail? Hey yo, let's go. What's the mail? If you want to share, actually don't share. Don't share what you got in the mail, please. I don't want to know. It's definitely rough. The bulk of his anger punched out of him with another sigh. Derek rolled his head in your direction and cracked a weak smile. I can't legally say it. Alright, don't say it, you'll go to jail. Hello A4, thank you for the pats. You tried to match it, wishing there was something more that you could do to help. A tiny laugh shook him. It really is. Evening his breath, Derek folded his arms across his chest and squeezed his eyelids shut. You could tell by the tension in his face that he was still bothered. He was thinking hard, searching for something. I can make this work. His low mumble was followed by a pause that had you intrigued. And then he jumped forward, so he was sitting upright again. The grin you were so used to seeing was back in full force. Good news, it's not chicken pizza. Hey yo, what kind of pizza? That's good at least. At least, question mark. Victor, wanna go back to the pool? Nobody's gonna be there this late. And my brothers are not gonna be able to leave the house. You don't have to get in or even change clothes. I think it'd be kind of a nice place to talk. That sort of thing. Avoiding your gaze, Derek nervously rubbed the back of his head. You could tell that he was trying his hardest to be nonchalant. Definitely nonchalant. But he wasn't exactly succeeding. I'm watching your stream while gathering some pose inspo, but where can I see your whole character? Oh right, I never really posted my reference anywhere. Where do I post it? Where do you guys want me to post it? I'll put it up. Wait, let me put it up on stream again. Hold on. Let's see. We'll put up a image. I'll put my reference sheet up on stream for you to screenshot, Elijah. Hold on. Where did I put it though? I'm gonna find it. Okay, here. Put it up. Alright, hey yo, this is too big. Alright, here. Is it clear enough? Cause the best I got is a goofy one on community. Ayo. Got it. Okay. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. In case anyone else wants to screenshot it. Let's go. Alright. Let me hide that. Okay. Good thinking. Alright. Derek leapt up to his feet and turned, holding a hand out for you to take. Oh, he's hovering his hand. Do we hold his hand? Chat, do we hold his hand? Ayo. Chuckling, you gripped his hand tightly. Chat, do we hold his hand? Of course we hold his hand. Meh. Hold on. we held his hand. Ayo. Derek squeezed you back and helped pull you to your feet. Oh, hold on. Let's wait for the ad break on Twitch to end before we continue. So everyone can get to watch. Yippee! We're holding his hand. Yippee! I think chat on screen is a bit... Yeah, it's a little behind. There's some latency problems with that capture. I don't know. Derek squeezed you back and helped pull you to your feet. Let's go! The door slowly creaked open as Derek peeked out, double-checking that the coast was actually clear. He gave you a thumbs up. I don't see Nicholas. I think we're good. You returned his thumbs up, silently hoping that this wasn't the calm before the storm. Derek led you into the living room where you found his dad and George sitting together on the couch. Hello, Mom has Nicholas in his room, enraptured in another exciting session of story time. Good. Victor and I were gonna go down to the pool area to hang out. Is that okay?
Of course.
He chuckled, knowing exactly what Derek was trying to accomplish. George was perfectly happy where he was with his dad, so he waved goodbye to you both. Don't keep Victor out too late. I won't, thanks Dad. Derek whispered with complete confidence. You gave your appreciation in an equally hushed tone. Thank you, Mr. Suarez. The last thing either of you wanted was to alert the younger Suarez that anything fun was happening without his knowledge, so you both silently slipped out of the apartment. Once you were free from the condo's walls, Derek's excitement was palpable. You picked up the pace and raced to the pool gate. For the third time in a single day, you and Derek stepped foot on the condo complex's private pool deck. But you soon realized you hadn't seen everything it had to offer yet. The pool is lit up! The pool is glowing! Hey yo! That's one fancy pool, heated and lit up. Hey yo! Under the cover of night, the pool was completely aglow with lights set into the bottom. The bright blue struck you as inviting breaths of steam drifted off the top of the water, whispering how warm it was. The water is extra warm. Oh, don't other pools glow though? Not every pool. Not every pool glows, I think. The only pools I know that have light underneath were the fancy hotels. Yeah. Warm pool. The closed-in space was clear of any other people, and it had been like that for a while considering the stillness of the pool. Not a single ripple disrupted its aquamarine surface. Here you'd have peace and privacy. Derek was drawn to the water like a moth to a flame. He wordlessly rolled up his jeans and tugged off his sneakers and socks, then dunked his feet right into the pool up to the middle of his calf. Oh, he's just like Cove, for real, for real. The draw of the ocean, the draw of large bodies of water, it is too strong. The pull is too strong. He stretched and wiggled his bare toes in the comfortable embrace of the heated pool on a summer night. You joined Derek at the edge. Let's dip our feet in as well. You removed your own shoes and let your feet soak in the pool. It was as pleasant as its sparkling appearance promised. The water had none of the slight chill that the air did. It was a perfect amount of heat. Derek wrapped both his hands around the smooth tile edge and tilted back. One of his legs kicked up as his back drifted down, like his upper and lower body were each one side of the seesaw. He grinned playfully at you.
But
So, what are we talking about? I don't remember. I don't remember. Oh well, it's not your fault. He solemnly brought his torso back up until he was hunched over the water. He stared down at it, and all his lightheartedness had disappeared in an instant. That kind of makes the whole interruption thing even more sucky though. There wasn't any heart in it, but Derek managed to laugh. Sorry for making my problems your problems. No, man. It's fine. He dug his fingers into the side of his hair, scratching at it in frustration. What? Man, I relate to this guy. I don't want to make my problems everybody else's problems. It's like so inherently oldest sibling thing, I guess.
it doesn't matter.
I don't even know what my problem is. They came in the room for 5 seconds. I'm so dramatic. No. It's fine, Derek. It's not dramatic. Yeah, you were interrupted. You're allowed to feel frustrated or upset about that. You were supposed to be having a quiet time with your friend in your room and not be interrupted by your siblings. So you're valid, man. It's not dramatic, and it wasn't the only thing that happened today. Nicholas is dramatic, you are mild, ayo. It's not dramatic, it wasn't the only thing that happened today. Yeah. Derek crossed his arms tight and pushed them against the top of his legs. The blue water ripped around him as his legs moved against the pool wall. He pressed his heels into it. The pressure had been only on the inside was coming out. It's just... The thing is... Nicholas and George need me all the time. And my parents need me because they need me. I don't want to let them down, I really don't. But it's hard. Every day it's like I'm gonna mess up and disappoint somebody. Oh, the pressures of the oldest sibling. Oh, oh, the pressures of the eldest sibling. The reliable older sibling. Why isn't Elizabeth like this? Huh? She doesn't feel the responsibility of being the eldest sibling, huh? Real, not gonna lie. Eldest sibling pressure, yeah. He bit his tongue and released his limbs from the locked position they'd been stuck in. He couldn't scrub the furrow away from his brow.
Forget it.
Whoa. Forget it. Everyone has stuff to worry about. It's not just me. Mom has to take care of them way more than I do, and Dad works the job pretty much the entire day. You don't have to brush yourself off. Yeah. It doesn't... Just because you're... What is it? Like, you're complaining about your problems doesn't mean that your problems are lesser? I don't know how to word this, but your feelings are valid, Derek. You don't have to brush yourself off.
I don't know.
He went silent, unmoved. Nicholas was the one who caused trouble, but somehow Derek had made himself the bad guy. Yeah, your feelings are valid, Derek. Don't worry. I don't know if this is coming from a place of pure concern for the guy, or if it's just because you want to be his husband, Riot. I don't know if your intentions are pure, Riot. It was upsetting, but Derek wasn't anywhere close to being grown up. Anywhere close to really being grown up. Of course he couldn't be perfect, even though he acted like he thought he should be. He's just a kid. This is so much pressure on him. He should enjoy being a kid. Derek, remember when your dad first came to the pool and George and Nicholas were all so excited. We were just like your brothers. Even if you're in charge sometimes, you're still your parents' kid. You don't have to act like an adult, especially not with me. Finally, slowly and carefully, Derek dared to glance at you again. Thanks, Victor, for saying all that. As an oldest sibling, I feel him. Me too, oldest siblings. Eldest sibling gang. His shoulders squished inwards to frame his lower head. He looked so much like a hopeful puppy that he could give even Nicholas a run for his money in the adorable face department. Oh, this is the this is the crush speaking, Victor. Victor, your feelings are leaking out.
Was it annoying?
It really doesn't bother you that I complain? And sometimes hanging out with me means helping out with two other kids? Yeah, it doesn't bother me. For all the confidence Derek displayed, when push came to shove, he was pretty insecure about himself and what he thought of him. Not at all, complain away. As long as you don't mind dealing with Elizabeth when you visit me. That's right, Derek, I love hanging out with you no matter what. I'll babysit as many times as you need. You nodded seriously. Is this what having a crush feels like? I don't know, man. I don't know myself. I can't understand it. The fourth one. I love hanging out with you no matter what. Well, let's read the log again, okay? This is log. Please show. Oh no. It's froze. Hold on, guys. Technical difficulties. Alright, there. Look at the, oh my god. There. Why would the narration sound like Victor was calling Derek adorable? Oh, that's the crush speaking. That's the crush talking. Derek lifted his full face to you. It was all lit up by the light shining through the water. The smile on his face was just as glittering.
Well...
I don't ever want to be a pain, but it's really cool to have a friend who doesn't mind listening to me and being there. Cute. He didn't say that lightly. He only wanted to let himself be there for you and everyone else. Being somebody Derek could count on was special. His cheeks flushed just admitting it, but with the way your heart fluttered, you were sure your face was a match. Oh, cute. Oh. Then his eyebrows furrowed mischievously, and just like that, he catapulted right off the tiled edge into the pool. You gasped as if you were the one who suddenly got plunged underwater. Why? Derek burst through the surface with a loud, gasping laugh. The water's great! What? Huh? What? Hey yo, bro! Damn. Are you okay? You broke out in laughter. You shook your head at Derek's spontaneous swim. Let's just laugh, man. What the hell? Laugh.
It's gonna be great.
Everything's gonna be good, Victor. I'm not an adult. Yeah, you're just a kid. That was true. You pushed yourself right up. Do we join him? Do we join him? What the hell is that? Why is drawing hands so hard? Yo. Actually, I think I really do need to make like a how to draw hands tutorial. I think there's a demand for it now. Join him. Yeah, let's jump in. In an instant, you were hit with an explosion of bubbles as you sunk down into the water. You waited until you felt the pool floor, then kicked off it, and popped your head out the water. Oh man, I'm gonna hear an earful from Mom. Derek pumped both his fists in the air. His black wristbands dropped further down his arms, heavy from being soaked. The two of you paddled through the water together. The added weight of your clothes had you both winded pretty quick. The council has spoken. That only amused Derek more. Sopping wet cats. For real. Laughter and sloshing water brought the once stagnant pool to life. You and Derek still had the place to yourself and made the absolute most of it. But eventually, Derek crawled up the stairs out of the pool. His baggy clothes poured out mini waterfalls with every step he took on land. Derek looked especially tiny in his drenched jersey draped over his frame. He waited there at the top of the stairs for you to catch up, being the dripping gentleman he was. Drip. You held the rail, and with each step up the stairs, you felt the weight of your soaked clothes pressing down on you more. You got a thumbs up from Derek when you made it out. Then he carefully tipped his head to the side and tapped his hands against his ears to get the water out. Alright, time to face the music. Having to go home dampened Derek's mood far more than the water on his body. He could do anything here, in the wide open pool with you as his only companion. Going back to his family came with countless expectations and responsibilities, but it still had to be done. Yeah. You gave a small nod, readying yourself for whatever might happen when you arrived at the Suarez condo. Oh, I just noticed his spread is like drenched. Hey yo. Power's back, let's go! Without another word, you collected your shoes and you left the little oasis behind. Oh, what? Power is back. Electricity is back. What do we do, guys? Do we just walk side by side or do we hold each other's hand? Do we hold hands again? There was a blackout here because of storm. Do we hold hands? Yes. Alright. You hold each other's hands. Ah! His slippery fingers gripped you as tightly as they could. Oh, wait, hold on. Look at that. Dang. Cute. When you made it to the front door, Derek used the key from his pocket to open it. He hadn't forgotten to bring it, despite leaving under rushed and uneasy circumstances. Derek stood there in front of the unlocked door, just staring at it. Practical preparation was his forte. Making himself ready for bumps in relationships was not. I've got your back, Derek. We can do it. Yeah. He took in a huge breath through his nose and turned the knob. He's afraid of looking like the irresponsible child, huh? The living room was quiet when you went inside. George and Mr. Suarez had moved over to the kitchen and were busy putting together a puzzle. Mr. Suarez's shoulder blocked your view, so you couldn't see what the picture was supposed to be. Mrs. Suarez and Nicholas were nowhere in sight. You guessed they were still in the younger boy's bedroom. It was strange not to have someone cheer and shout when Derek walked through the door. There was a feeling of absence. We're back. He announced himself with an absolute lack of enthusiasm. He might as well have been calling off bingo numbers in an empty room. B7 G25 09 Mr. Suarez lifted his head and turned to face the both of you. At the same time, he eagerly pushed his chair away from the counter.
I see.
I see, thank you for coming home. The greeting he gave was so normal it was weird, considering how you and Derek each brought a bucket full of water absorbed into your clothes. Is it weird I like bingo? I think bingo is fun. I haven't really been to a proper bingo yet. But I would play. George offered a typical family greeting of his own, not taking his eyes off the puzzle. He was either focused or avoiding the awkwardness.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Derek silently poked a bare big toe into the prickly entryway doormat. The mess Derek's foot was making was too much for the little mat to contain. Water leaked out from the edges. Oh no. Bingo buddies, let's go. Where can we play bingo? I want to play bingo. Is there like an online bingo where you can set up a room? Ayo. Derek's attempt to face his family was going equally smoothly. The bright pleasantries on Mr. Suarez's face softened into warmth. He followed through on the motion he started and got out of his chair. He crossed the living room to stand with the two of you at the front door. My hard-working son is always in demand, huh? Our family needs to learn how to share, especially Nicholas. The last part was said with a little chuckle. Derek didn't smile from the compliment, but he did start to blush.
Excuse me.
Excuse us. A new voice came from the hall. Mrs. Suarez stood there with her hands to her hips. Peeking out from behind the skirt of her dress was a distinct spiky nest of brown hair. Now that you're here, someone has something he wants to say to his big brother. Her words got George to actually turn away from the puzzle and watch the scene. But Nicholas remained hidden. Her encouragement wasn't enough. As always, he was waiting for Derek. You didn't need to tell Derek that though. He knew it far better than you. He shifted his weight on his feet and gave Nicholas an invitation. Okay then, what do you want to say? Nicholas darted out from behind his mom with enough speed to flutter her dress. His tiny feet thundered over the floor until he came to an abrupt stop right in front of his favorite person. He had to lean his head all the way back to look into Derek's eyes. Derek looked down to meet the gaze. Nicholas resisted the urge to hug him and instead clutched at the collar of his own shirt.
Sorry.
Aww. I'm sorry. That's your room. For how much Nicholas struggled to explain his apology, it was obvious he wasn't at a point where he understood why being together at all times wasn't a completely fantastic idea. All that had gotten through was that he'd upset his brother and that had in turn upset him. Nicholas bit his lip and moved his hands to pull the bottom of his shirt instead of the top. The best he could come up with next was simply repeating himself. Derek's lips quirked just a bit as he patiently listened to his little brother. You should say sorry to him too. Victor helped you a lot today too. Nicholas instantly twisted his head towards you and echoed the word. He was very serious. Sorry, Victor. Ooh. Thank you, Nicholas. No worries. I appreciate that you apologized. Oh, how do we react to that? Deep down, I think we share the same sentiment with Derek that it was a little annoying that he interrupted us in his room, but we don't want to make him feel worse than the situation already is. Smile? Okay, let's just smile at him. Nicholas hopped up on the pads of his feet as a nervous but hopeful energy came over him. Your reaction was the first positive sign he'd gotten. The smallest Suarez glanced between you and Derek unsurely. He let his shirt go and balled his hands into fists. I'm sorry, Derek. I'm sorry, Victor. Nicholas put everything he had into willing whatever problem he'd caused to be fixed, and into people not feeling bad anymore. The emotional display of regret moved someone in the room to speak.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry too. George? Why are you apologizing, Ayo? Derek snorted a laugh at the unexpectedness of the interjection. What did you even do? I don't know. The middle child looked down at the puzzle in front of him, but he was staring through the pieces as if they weren't there. He murmured just barely loud enough to hear that from where you were standing. You and Victor had to watch me today too. Aw man, you were a good kid. Derek's hesitancy completely crumbled, and his usual familial dynamic came back in full force.
Aww.
Oh no. Wait, why is the steam overlay on the... Man. I should turn that off whenever I stream. I have exposed Kaito. Oh no. Aw, George, you don't have to apologize for that. I like to have some time by myself. Or with my friends, but I never want to stop having my little bros. Nicholas's massively wide eyes sparkled. For the first time since they were reunited, he carefully reached out to Derek and gripped his soaking wet jeans. Derek reached down to gently pat his baby brother's head as he did probably every day. Neither boy cared that this time the hand was damp. Instead, they both smiled at the other with unwavering affection. No matter what visions happened, it was inevitable that it would end that way, because they both loved their family equally and deeply. Aww. Another person took turn to cut in as Mr. Suarez spoke up with vigor.
Let's race!
Derek, Victor, let's race! Huh? What? Derek chuckled at your confusion and switched his head pat into a full-on hair ruffle. Nicholas giggled excitedly along with his brother. Dad is asking us to play a video game, an old kart racer he likes. Mario Kart. Mario Kart. My stream is lagging. Oh no. There's too much happening, maybe. Oh, it is. There's too much happening. Yes, and I will win it. Mario Kart, Mario Kart. Derek's dad cheerfully tackled that on. It couldn't be forgotten, clearly. George could be player 4. Mrs. Suarez was the only one who truly kept her distance during the reconciliation between Derek and Nicholas, but now she joined the rest of the family. When she was close enough to you and Derek to whisper, she pressed a hand to the corner of her mouth and winked conspiratorically. Huh? I'll give Nico an unplugged controller. Hey yo! Hey yo, the unplugged controller strat, let's go. Derek grinned at that point and shifted into giving the longest strands of Nicholas's hair a friendly tug. But he didn't accept the invite immediately. He included you in the discussion. What do you think, Victor? It's up to you. He nodded at you and turned to answer his father. Alright, let's race. I'm gonna have a break from drawing, come back to the stream fully. Let's go. We're about to end, I think. This session is about to end anyway. Derek's mom encouraged you and Derek with her words and Nicholas with her hands, taking him by the shoulder. This time she wouldn't be letting him get away from her.
Go on.
Go get changed, we'll get in, we'll plug it in so it's ready by the time you're back. Victor, you're welcome to use my or Mr. Suarez's pajamas if Derek doesn't have anything you can borrow. It'll be big, but it's better than nothing. Thanks, Mom. Derek's mood changed to be buoyed by the support of his parents, and he left to get changed, while walking as lightly as he could in his wet clothes. He followed the watery footprints he left behind to dry off too. He did a quick change while you waited with a towel wrapped around you to minimize your clothes dripping. He came out of his room wearing black sweats with a matching top. Pajamas! Now that he wasn't spilling water wherever he went, he offered to get you something to wear. Derek rattled rattled off what kinds of pajamas his family had on hand. He apologized twice for the fact that he was so much shorter than you and had nothing you could fit in. No! We couldn't borrow clothes from him. No! We're too tall! Victor Orange Slice was too tall! You assured him that it wasn't his fault. You were the one who chose to get wet when you didn't have an extra pair of your own clothes. Ultimately... Oh, you borrowed a sleeping gown from Mrs. Suarez. You borrowed a button-down PJ shirt and pants from Mr. Suarez. Shrink, ayo. If only you could do that. Let's get the PJs. It was extremely baggy. Considering the design of it, it was more proper looking than most other types of PJs. The melted away it looked on you was extra funny. What mattered most was that you were finally warm and dry. Your skin still had lingering goosebumps from your dip in the pool. Derek gave you a friendly thumbs up. He was nothing but polite about your outfit situation. He bundled up the pile of wet clothes and carried them off to the laundry. He spoke over his shoulder as he walked as fast as he could with dripping clothes in his arms. I'll get your stuff back to you next time I visit, okay? Okay. You should have gone for the gown so you could look like pretty princess. I don't think Victor would... Riot, would you want a nightgown? This is your save file. As promised, the Suarez's dark purple GameCube was fully connected with 4 controllers. What the? Yeah, there was an option to pick for a nightgown or a PJ. Nightgown. Yeah, you picked PJs. Yeah, let's go. Alright, I knew you. 4 controllers plugged in by the time you and Derek strolled into the living room wearing your new digs. A familiar shout filled the room. All was right in the world.
Derek's back!
Man, yep, Nico, I'm here. Mrs. Suarez was on the carpet with Nicholas on her lap. She already passed him a controller and he was having a blast pressing the clicky buttons, despite the fact they did nothing except make a little noise. George and Mr. Suarez took seats on the couch. George tucked himself closely against his father, so the two were only taking up one side. The other half of the couch was reserved for you and Derek. Derek dove into the spot next to George. He got settled in nicely against the plush back of the couch and folded his legs up across the cushion. You got in the final place and relaxed against the armrest. Whoa. How long ago was this? What year are we in? I don't know. George passed one controller to Derek, which Derek gave to you, and then he handed over a second, which Derek kept. Mr. Suarez filled you in on the decision he and his second son had made. Fancy controller. It's a GameCube. Junior and I are on a team. You and Victor can play together. What do you think? Derek tilted his head your way. He lifted his shoulders and added on to his dad's briefing. It's a double racer. One drives and the other controls items. Whoa. This is gonna be good. Definitely. It's me and you then. The deal was sealed and packs have been made. George perked up and shook Mr. Suarez's arm. Hey Dad, we're Team Suarez. Yes, we are. Derek's fingers were on the buttons, and he was leaning over his crossed legs in anticipation for the game to begin. He replied, unbothered. Cool for you guys. With his gaze still glued to the TV, a cheeky grin pulled at his lips. Derek spoke once more, under his breath, as this was meant just for him, but you were sitting close enough to still catch it. Oh, hey yo, oh, hey yo. I don't mind being Team Orange Slice. Hey yo, hey yo. Hey yo! Hey yo! Hey yo! Hey yo! Hey yo! He doesn't mind taking the name, huh? He doesn't mind taking the name, huh? He giggled sweetly. Being squished into a couch so close to him felt even warmer. Ayo. All 4 players making up the 2 teams chose their characters, cards, positions, and the track set. To start, Derek and Mr. Suarez were driving, and you and George were item launching duty. 3, 2, 1. The carts launched across the starting lines, with both drivers getting an extra boost. Our Team Orange Slice and Team Suarez were off down the colorful jungle road. He's taking the last name. Marriage. Derek Orange Slice got a nice ring to it, huh? There would be 3 laps before the race was over. Lap 1 was a frantic race for the top spot. Carts were neck and neck to each other over every hill and around each curve, neither getting ahead or falling behind. Attacks were constantly exchanged, buttons were pressed at rapid speeds. That included Nicholas as he watched the race and he tried to use his controller the way everyone else was. He wondered which part of the game he thought he was impacting. By lap 2, Team Orange Slice had taken a strong lead. Almost nothing from the Suarez camp could reach your cart. Once he passed the line to start lap 3, Derek was cocky enough to bring out the smack talk. I thought you were gonna win, Dad. Mr. Suarez's expression was perfectly content. More than that, it was serene. Galaxy-brained. And it was with that calm face Derek's father carefully reached across George, and then in the blink of an eye locked his large hand around the comparatively tiny controller Derek held. Wait, hold on. Oh wait, he's obstructing Derek! Hey! The cart you and Derek shared went out of control, careening off the dirt path into a pit. You had to wait for the game to fish you out and place you back on the road. Team Suarez rolled right past. No! No! Sabotage!
See?
I'm winning now. Derek's dad was boldly unapologetic. He grinned like a child who just found out you could get a hole-in-one at putt-putt golf if you just drop the ball in the hole. You're cheating now! Derek sputtered with laughter, made of equal parts amusement and disbelief. He yanked his arms towards his chest to fight for freedom, but Mr. Suarez's grip was unmovable. We're running interference, huh? From a distance, Mrs. Suarez mused over the situation that had begun to unfold. Her husband stole a look at where she'd been sitting. She was gone, leaving only Nicholas on the floor. Mr. Suarez lifted one thick eyebrow and pressed the other lower. He could only puzzle over what it might mean, until it became clear by the world going dark over him. Oh, he's blinded! Derek's mom had crawled over behind the couch and popped up from behind, slipped her fingers under Mr. Suarez's glasses. He was caught completely off guard. Ah! His father started from the shock of a surprise attack that wasn't committed by himself. Yeah, Mom! Derek hadn't gotten his controller back. Mr. Suarez was stubborn in his hold, but his dad was just as incapacitated as a driver. Yeah, Mom! Oh. An echo of Derek's cheer came from behind. All the excitement in the air had stirred a fire in Nicholas. He wasn't just playing with an off controller anymore. He crawled on all fours in a rapid pace until he reached the couch and launched himself right at his dad's stomach. Ayo. It was powerful enough that Mr. Suarez sprung forward, and Mrs. Suarez's hands were yanked off him. Ooh! But Derek's controller was finally freed. Mr. Suarez had to let go of both controllers to catch his squirming child. Nicholas would not be contained. He climbed up over his dad's shoulders and wrapped his arms around Mr. Suarez's face. In sweet justice, the Team Suarez cart flew off a bridge into the abyss below. Yeah, Nicholas! George placed down his own controller in his lap with a shake of his head and a smirk. Team Suarez wasn't winning this race. Derek rolled his shoulders and poked the tongue out of the corner of his mouth in concentration. He was back in business. Locked in, let's go. Team Orange Slice cart course corrected and raced towards the finish line of the final lap. The youngest Suarez hugged all four of his limbs around his dad even tighter from the thrill of seeing Derek speed his car around the track. Yeah! Items weren't needed though, but you were just as invested in watching your cart make the last stretch. Derek brought it home, crossing the finish line. Let's go! Future hubby locked in. Ayo. Ayo. We won! Derek threw his fists into the air, pumped them back down to his chest, and turned to you with a palm held out for you to smack. My god. No. I thought I'd be used to talking so long now, but I've been talking for 3 hours straight. So I might be speaking really weirdly now. Pay no mind to that. Wait, hold on, Riot. We need to make a choice here. We need to make a choice here. Hug. We hug him. Hug. Okay, let's go. You hug him. You ignored the hand and flung your arms around his neck. He squeezed you back, pressing his face into your shoulder. You were victorious. We won! Nicholas set his arms up towards the sky, a perfect imitation of his eldest brother. Mr. Suarez used the opportunity to collect his son off his shoulders and placed Nicholas onto his lap. He petted his son's hair and he laughed, breathless but full of joy.
Okay.
I lost. Next race. This time, Derek repeated the phrase, still raring to go. That was naturally followed by the original copycat. Nicholas clapped gleefully and snuggled up against his seat on his father's chest. Next race. George picked up his abandoned controller once more. His voice was quieter but no less sincere. Yeah, next race. Let's all just ignore the fact I spoke the wrong language. Wait, what? Huh? Oh, it never happened. Oh, is that Spanish? Hombre. Let's see what you said. I have my auto translator here. I'll put you on blast. I'm so confused right now, man. Oh. It's just sabotage right now. I'm sorry, Mori. That's fine. Alright. I can't speak no more. Who knew this would last 3 hours? Good God. You don't need to out me, goddamn, man. It's fine, Elijah. In all the commotion, you'd completely forgotten you could have switched to the driver role to take over for Derek at any time. George could have too for his dad, but you were glad it went the way it did. Team Orange Slice got its win with assistance from Team Pile Drivers, Nicholas and Mrs. Suarez. And the game was just getting started. Race next. Next race. Next race. You couldn't help joining the pattern, but it got big smiles from the family.
Well,
now this is a real party. There's still pizza in the fridge. Who wants leftovers? Hey yo! Pizza! The suggestion of food riled Nicholas up even more. He clambered over his dad's shoulders for the second time, tugging on his beard and accidentally knocking his glasses off. Mr. Suarez wheezed out of a chuckle. Nicholas stared out from over the couch into the kitchen. He wanted that pizza, but couldn't be the first to ask. Do we ask for the guest here? I feel a little shy. I'll have leftovers, you said, just for Nicholas's sake. Man, you looked at the other Suarez boys. Do we ask we're the guests here? I feel like that's a little too much. My voice! My voice! I'm gonna lose my voice! Wait a minute. Is chat working? My chat isn't working. I don't see anyone. Hold on. Third one. Okay. Man, now my YouTube chat is like what's going on? My YouTube chat is now doing a little thing. Broke Mori's chat. Yeah. Third one. Alright, let's do third one. It took a while for the chat to load and I couldn't see it. I'll have leftovers. Me too. George and Mr. Suarez chimed in their own request.
Sure.
Can I have some, Mom? I would like some pizza, my beloved wife who never turns against me. Mori, do you like my Spanish? I'm not really good at reading Spanish. I don't know how to read that. I think it's good. Question mark. I did translate it. I'm not gonna read it out loud because I've been duped. She snickered with a glint in her eyes. Of course, start the game. I'll heat it up. All four of the Suarez men spoke in unison. Thanks, Mom. Thank you too.
You're welcome.
The players all resumed their positions and took up their tools. Slightly sweaty GameCube controls. Oh my god, they're sweaty gamers. No. No. They're sweaty gamers. No. When the second race started, the grin on Derek's face was one of the most radiant you'd seen the whole day. His dad, mom, and brothers too really know how to make Derek happy. Your Spanish is good. How do you know, Riot? How do you know? That brought a smile to your face too. From getting a window into Derek's life and from what you know from your own, spending every day with the same people could take a lot of patience, but there were a lot of perks too. Your time at the Suarez household ended with family, food, and fun. There wasn't much more you could have asked for. And there we go! That's the end of the moment. And we still have 4 more to go! Alright. We'll play another one of this next week, maybe? Do you guys wanna make this like a weekly thing? How often do you guys wanna play this? Yeah, sure. Yes. Let's go. Alright, every week we'll schedule in a day for playing the Derek DLC. Hopefully I'm good next week. Okay, once a week. Yeah. There's a especially fun moment at the soiree. You get to dance with Derek. I'm not sure about the other ones. I haven't really heard much spoilers. I am spoiler free about this DLC. I'm so glad. Can you do it on Sunday? Unfortunately, my weekends are very hectic. I don't know if I can ever slip in a stream during weekends. I'll try to if I find like the time. I might do like gorilla streams or like unscheduled streams. No, because I'm starting school again. Yeah. It's really hard since I've noticed that a few of you guys or like a bunch of you guys are from the West. So our time zones are completely different. Some people are tuning into my streams at midnight, yo. I'll see if I can do like unscheduled streams on weekends if I find the time. But yeah, that's it for today. Well, head pat. Oh, I got double head pats the entire time. Hey, yo. Man. Oh, it's because I didn't disable the thing at Sammy. Thank you, A4, for the head pats. I would if I was allowed, Mori. Bye, Mori. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Let's save, actually. Save. Okay. There. Alright. Bye-bye. We saved it. Let's go. I'll see you guys. Let's play this again next week, okay? Bye-bye. And on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing an art stream. I'll be updating my little what's it called? Image reaction. This one. I'll be updating this. But yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.